Hi, everyone. Peter Dennis here. Today, my guest is Wendy Napolitano. And Wendy is a channeler, operates out of Chicago, Illinois. And Wendy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. It's my pleasure to be here. I appreciate getting to know you here over the past several weeks and experiencing.
Yeah, we've been experiencing quite a bit. Yeah, we'll reveal some of that maybe a little later to our
Yes.
audience. We did have a surprise guest a little while ago who's done some videos with us. And we'll let that name out of the bag a little bit later. But Wendy, you've been channeling for some time prior to us meeting. When did it all start for you?
Well, the more recent channeling where I'm focused channeling has been over the last maybe year and a half, 2 years. And prior to that, I was channeling as a child, not really recognizing that what it was channeling. I would get information. I would say, well, I would know that, but I don't know why I would know it. I just knew that I did. And so I didn't really realize that I was connecting in with consciousness, that information was just coming directly through to me. And so that awareness, that knowledge was being given to me by my spirit team and by, as I know now, different, angelic beings, galactic beings, etc. So in my own higher self, of course, first. And so as I've grown that out over the years, I wanted to, as I stepped into healing, um, they my team kept saying, you need to work on channeling, you need to develop your channeling. So they really were pushing me to make that connection. It wasn't my initial thought process of, oh, I want to be a channeler, let's just start channeling. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of come into it that way. They seem to get messages, they're not sure from where. Some start doing a little mediumship, and some begin to write. And yeah, then they start to channel vocally. And, yeah. Now, if you've been doing it for a year and a half or so, has it made any impact on your life or the way you see things? Any differences?
oh yes, dramatically. So as I started beginning to expand and move into channeling, my other gifts started to open up more too. So I write light language, I speak light language, vocalizing it with sound frequencies. I've moved into working with different types of instruments for sound healing. I begin to see, art fields and, light, and my dream time has become more expansive as well. So that awareness to, recalling and connecting with what you're dreaming, understanding the meaning of it, that interpretation of what the dream is for. All of that has been like expanded and grown, developed within me while I've been working on channeling. And I think that's because and I'm sure people have heard this before, everyone's a channel, everybody has the capability of channeling, but the difference is when you start to open up your fields more, you open up the opportunity for the etheric realm to connect in more with your physical being, and therefore you can have that energetic exchange because it comes in as energy, and even your voice and your speaking from your body is energy. And so being able to vocalize those thoughts, that information as it comes in, and then let it express out is it's a little bit of like being in your flow. And so when you learn how to get into your flow as you're working with your own self, developing your channeling, then these gifts just, it's kind of a natural, it just kind of happens.
Yes, certainly the channelers I work with, and myself included, we're all getting a vibrational upgrade
Yeah.
through this process. I get it more by hanging around with channelers, but the channelers all experience it. Yeah. Now, who do you channel? Which beings?
Well, it's been a variety. Um, it it started out with channeling Archangel Raziel, and Archangel Raziel is my higher self. And so started with Archangel Raziel, and then it started to expand, and then Ra came through and was channeling and working with me in the early stages. And he's always with me, but he's a lot of energy to hold. So it's more challenging to try to bring him in. You really have to be like, you have to be clean, purity, like in your whole, like your being. So a lot of times when I'm bringing Ra in, I almost will have fasted for 2 days, not necessarily purposefully, but sometimes I just don't feel really like eating that much, or I'm eating maybe a couple of oranges and drinking a lot of water. And so it just works out that way. And then I've channeled Sekhmet, Athena, Yeshua comes through, Source, Sophia comes through a lot for me. So Mother God, I know that my purpose here, my mission here is to bring the divine feminine energy. And as we're stepping into the energetic of, divine feminine, lifting herself back up into the strength of who she is, that Mother Sophia has been working with me dramatically with that to bring the sense of not just the love and the kindness and the gentleness of what being feminine is, but the power that the feminine energy or female energy is just as strong as masculine energy, and that we're here to balance that out. And so it's been a masculine, let's say, society, humanity for so long, that it's time for that divine feminine to step up now as well. I kind of feel like I'm channeling like some of this from Sophia right now. But given that different energies. So when I first started, I was getting a lot of collective energies. So I'd get like the Syrian collective, the Lyran collective. I would get the Pleiadian collective and the Arcturian collective, the Andromedan collective. And then I would channel interesting energies like the elements. So I'd be channeling water, or I'd be channeling the sky, so it's really a variety of beings that come through. And so sometimes I'm just like, I never know. And other times it's like, I kind of hear the beyond kind of is like what I will hear. And so I'll get a message and I'll give it, and then I'll be asked for a name and I have nothing to give. There's like not a name. So it's kind of like, I will make up a name if you want one, but it's like, we don't have names in like the energy that you're channeling. So it's very interesting.
Yes, I think a lot of channelers start out, if you can imagine that they've got a certain vibration, the beings have got vibrations way above. For the human to jump to, say, an ET that's somewhat physical still is not such a big jump, but to jump all of a sudden to an ascended master is quite a leap. And more often than not, it just takes a little bit of time to kind of step your way up, sort of thing. And I think you've been saying somewhat the same, that you're getting kind of a vibrational upgrade as you go, and then you're open to just more energies of a higher frequency.
Right. And really a lot of that channeling was coming through as I was doing healing work on others. So the first thing that they started having me work with was the crystalline grid and working with the energies of crystals. And it has a tie into, my Lemurian lifetime, and then also the Atlantean lifetime. And so there's a lot of energies. And, when you start talking about past lives, like the more I channel, the more I discover about who I am as a being, like my larger self of the energies that embody me, because just like you think about fractals of life or drops of water, if you can imagine, if you were to take your glass of water and just keep putting drops in until the glass was full, that's oftentimes how we as people come through with the energy of these different beings, these different the fractals of them, shall we say, or aspects of them. So you can tap into this, this wide realm of what's available to you, but it's your conscious awareness and your openness to experience it, and to reach back into the past and use some of this energy, or to access some of this knowledge that you already have within you. And it's not really the past, because it's the quantum. And because I do quantum healing, I'm in the energy of the all. And this all is like this rotating, I don't know, I think of like that DNA spiral, the left and the right, or the Kundalini energy, as you want to see it like that, that it's all there and available. And I I think because of all the different energies that are with me and ascended masters that they have come through as well. I've channeled Saint Germain and Merlin, and have energies of them. I'm told that like Ra is always with me. He's called me the daughter of Ra, and I guess that means you've gone through a series of tests over the years to be able to get. So I think some of the individuals that maybe are becoming, especially as the energies are higher and the veil is thinner and we're not so far apart here, we're closer here, that it's easier to make those connections between the raising of who we are in our consciousness and the bringing down the higher energies. Plus the fact I think that my higher self is already a 12th dimensional being, that that I'm already kind of tapped into the higher energies anyway. So it was an easier step. It was an easier step to taste. So not climbing the whole pyramid
Yeah.
all at
Well, we
once.
are multidimensional, and there are aspects of us, kind of stumbling around in the higher realms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wendy, I know I could spend probably hours with you just delving into more healing and things like that, but we do have a limited time here.
Yeah.
Would you be prepared to bring in one of your channeled friends and
Sure.
that
I'd be happy
individual
to.
and I can have a little chat? Oh, go ahead.
All right, just give me a moment. The energies have been here. They're kind of like I'm sitting here in this quantum field, which it just feels like if you've ever had vertigo, it kind of has this like dizzy sense about it. So that's
Yeah.
how I can always sense that that there's like my multi-dimensional aspect or other beings are around me. So just give me a moment.
Sure.
Greetings, greetings. It is I. I still am here as spokesperson, as Yeshua,
Yeah,
or
sure.
you may say the one that you know as Jesus. Also,
Yeah.
just to advise, Mother Mary is here as well as Mother Sophia, Mother Magdalene as well. You may refer to her as Mary Magdalene, but she is also still representing the mother energies.
Well, thank you very much. And, it's good that you have the Marys with you. Wendy was just talking about the divine feminine, and I think it would be very beneficial if we, I guess, got maybe a bit of an update or a perspective anyway from Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary as to just how the divine feminine is developing on the planet at this time.
Yes, I'll step aside one moment.
Thank you.
Hello, beautiful soul. I am Mother Mary.
Mother Mary, welcome. Thank you very much for being here.
It seemed appropriate at this timing as many celebrants are looking into a particular holiday that is recognized in celebration of the experiences of what is known as Jesus' death.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know you are asking about how the divine feminine is stepping up. And truly, the energies are moving in that direction. What is being represented, as many are seeing across the world, is that there are many more who are stepping into the energies of channeling, of yoga experiences, of learning about oneself, of meditation. And it is starting to move even into your, not just social media, but into your movies, into
Yes.
the understanding of more of the physical realm and the spiritual realm being one. So the divine feminine is really stepping not just into a more softness of spirit, but into recognizing the feminine side of the masculine. And so what this means is that many of the men and women who have been living so long in the masculine sense of things, the control of things, the domination of things. And I'm using the term things, but of course this is elaborated into governments and individuals, even within families, where it has been heavily male dominated because of the masculine energy. War is one of these energies that is often tapped into the masculine, but that also taps in somewhat into the root chakra and survival, the need to control. As the divine feminine is stepping up, that need to control is being smoothed over to realize the energies of harmony, of strength together, of unity. And as you start to see that within your governments, within your societies, within your communities, the woman's voice is not being held down in the way and manner that it was in the past. Now, the woman's voice in the divine feminine is equally as courageous and strong as the divine masculine. These energies are meant to be heard. This information from the divine feminine is meant to be understood. That it is equal to the masculine, not above, not below, equal.
You can see that in our government. Our deputy minister in Canada is a woman. Premier of Alberta is a woman. There certainly are more women emerging in U.S. politics, although they may all be somewhat controlled by corporations and such. Nevertheless, they're expressing their voices. That's good to see.
Yes, you will start to see more and more women stepping up into these roles of leadership. But mind you, many of them are still on the masculine side of their role in leadership as they're balancing out within themselves. As these higher energies are stepping into greater and greater strengths. And you will see more of it in the next couple of years. You will find there will be more call amongst the people for their freedoms, for their unity, for their care of other beings, of noticing and recognizing other societies and those that you may consider the lowliest, and managing to find ways to bring them into society in a more cordial manner, in a more heartfelt manner. And there are multidimensional reasons for bringing awareness to the divine feminine so that that balance comes once more to humanity. But we are also asking many of those who imbue the divine feminine, which are not all of female persuasion, but to ask them that while they are in their divine feminine presence, that they recognize that balance within themselves and stepping up as speakers, as leaders, as way showers, to be able to emanate those changes to society that are necessary so that humanity may become more within the galactic community, their multidimensional aspect of themselves.
Is there anything you would recommend young women and girls do to take on more of these leadership roles?
Speak up.
Mhm.
Love yourself. Do not accept what others may direct in your field. Stand up and be sovereign. Know who you are as a being of power and strength. Do not accept limiting beliefs of you are the lesser sex. That is a lie. Do not accept the limiting beliefs of you have nothing to say. That is a lie. Do not accept the limiting beliefs of you are not a beauty. That is a lie.
I think
Do
we
not
are.
accept the beliefs that are given to you by others. You must find your strength, your divineness within yourself, your power, your courage, who you are as a being.
Mhm.
And do not be limited. Do not be fearful. Be strong and courageous and firm, but within the harmony of flow and collaboration and cooperation. And these will represent the divine feminine energies in the best manner that can be, always expressed with the base of love.
Yes, I think humans are getting a lesson in discernment these days, and maybe even more so when there are more revelations about COVID and such. Many of what the points you just made would apply to males and females, but I can certainly see that for women more. Um, yes, thank you very much for that. Yeah. Now, I know you're with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and I believe there's one other. Would
Mother,
it be I'm sorry?
Mother Sophia.
Oh, Mother Sophia, right. Would this be a good time for one of them to step in with a message?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mother Mary, and hope to see you again. Thank you.
Yes. Mary Magdalene, the Magdalene, steps forward.
Hello, Mary. We've spoken before a little bit, and I'm very pleased that you're back here again today. Yes,
Yes, greetings.
what are you bringing today?
I would like to also bring additional words to not just the young women, but women and those who have suffered from abuse. In my time, there were many that had accusations against me, that said things against me, that called the healing that I was doing for others, which should have been private, but based on the small communities that we were, that was hard to do. And so I was judged as a female of ill repute.
Mhm.
With that being said, it was not truth, but how do you step away from the mindset of what others already believe? It is in valuing yourself. And so anyone who has experienced abuse or has had lies told about them, untruths, my request to you is to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And when you let it go, you'll be able to find the peace within yourself. Do not play their words like a broken record in your mind. Do not play their actions like a broken record in your mind. The only reason that these experiences are being replayed in your mind is so that you can acknowledge them, recognize them for the untruth that lies within it, or the low frequency, if it's within an action, but also recognizing that it was an experience that your soul may have desired as a learning tool.
Hmm.
Are you now a better person because of the experience? If you were hit as a child, you grow up and say, I will never do that to a child. I did not like it. It made me feel bad. And you let it go. You recognize it. You send forgiveness. You send love. Ask an archangel to assist you. Ask myself or any of the Marys to assist you. In the spirit of mothering, they will come. Place their gentle arms around you and hold you to support you as you grow, as you grow. Because as you release these things, you heal them. And as you heal them, you heal not only yourself, but the collective.
Hmm.
So when you focus on yourself and not on others, regardless of the energy that they're directing at you in a low frequency, when you say, this is not my reality, you can change from that reality into the one that you do want. And that is what happened to me as I met Yeshua. The realization of standing in my own power as we met as equals. I was healing just as well as he was healing. I was connected just as well as he was connected. And we recognize these strengths within one another.
Well, thank you for not only what we should be doing, but how to do it. That's very helpful. And it applies to so many of us, really. Thank
You are
you.
welcome.
Would Sophia or Yeshua like to come forward at this time?
Mhm. Mother Sophia.
Mother Sophia, welcome. Thank you very much for being here.
Yes.
You have a message, I'm sure.
My message for you is to stay in the heart and out of sadness,
Mm.
out of fear. Stay in the heart. Bring into yourself the pink ray, the magenta ray of love. Intertwine them together with white. Feel them coming into your heart. Feel them expanding your heart, working with the chambers within your chakras of the heart. These times of difficulty, there will be more. They are not to be spoken of at this time. However, you do know that they are coming. Some, if you are channeling, may be getting this information in your dream time. Do not be in fear. As you are seeing these forces of negative versus positive try to align themselves within this particular structure of Mother Gaia and Earth, know that your energies also affect the galaxies. And so when you're feeling yourself being pressed against, as if the magnetics of two strong magnets that are not the opposite of one another, you can feel the sensation of them forcing and forcing, but not budging, and you cannot push them together. The magnetics keep them apart until you have them in the correct direction, and then they sink in. And this is the direction that humanity is moving toward. The transition from not being able to connect to rotating. And this rotation is the change in the energy, and the change in the energy, once it does come into its correct alignment, will connect completely, beautifully, harmonically, and in a beautiful balance. Have your mind and your intention to stay in the brightness and the lightness of it. Stay within the creation. What is your new idea? What is your new goal? What is your new thing you want to learn and create? So I ask you to create. Create the creation. Find the joy in it. Perhaps you want to play in clay or paint, work with feathers or wires, work with sound or music, with your own voice, with instruments, banging on the table. Create. Learn a new language. Learn a new game. Play. Find the child within you. And I am here to mother you and guide you at all steps. Just call if you need guidance, if you need growth in your creativity. I am here. I love you. And that is all I have for you today. I love you.
Wonderful message. Thank you very much for it. Very comforting. Thank you. Would Yeshua like to have perhaps the last word?
Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We hope that our presence here today has assisted in giving you some guidance, some uplifting of the heart, some joy, that the experience has been peaceful and energetic for you. We thank you for joining us on any step of the methodologies that you choose to shine your light, to bring your light, to illuminate, to be an illumination of Source, of God, of us, of the divine, of yourself. We thank you for being on this journey. We know it is a hard one. Know that you are always supported, and we are here with you at all times. You are never alone. Be blessed.
Well, thank you. It's very comforting to know that we can always ask, that you're always with us, and that we can ask for assistance and get it. So thank you, all of you, for being here today and delivering these messages. Many blessings to you.
We all send you our love and our light as a group.
Thank you for that.
And you are blessed.
Wendy, you just take your time and come on back. Well, how do you feel now? That must have been was that a bit of an energy jolt?
A bit fuzzy. There's something about channeling the higher energies that makes you really thirsty.
Really thirsty for more. Yeah,
Um,
well, they just got started. It's too bad I just can't, do
yeah,
more
I
of it.
still it's always interesting when I come from being in a channeled state or bringing messages. I really do. Just like when I start, I feel that kind of that quantum sway, and I'm looking at myself and I don't see myself moving, but I feel like I'm moving like this. So
Mhm. Yeah, well, you don't appear to be to us, but yes, I know I can get these little spells of dizziness, and nobody knows it, but I'm finding the whole room turning on me, sort of thing. And
yeah,
it's just really a function of kind of new energies and vibrational upgrade and the body getting used to it, sort of thing. The brain needs to adjust.
yeah. Well,
Anyway,
I
we
have a
gotta
little
go.
story to tell. So yesterday I was on the phone with one of my friends and we were discussing our upcoming trip to Scotland and Ireland. And while I was
Mm.
talking to her, I saw these laser beams coming out of my fingertips. I was like
Oh.
talking, and then I was like, "Whoa, what is that?"
Well, I've done
So
that before in darkness. You put your two hands together and move them
yeah,
around, just kind of have a blank stare, and you'll see the light
and
going
you
from
can see
one
the
finger to
energy.
the
Yeah,
other.
yeah. So and I played games with the energy, and like sometimes like, oh, you can feel the ball. Like if you pull the energy
Mhm.
in, you can have it between your hands, and you can. And because I work with healing with my hands, a lot of times I feel it, I see it, I sense it. But anyway, so I've seen it emanate from my hands as like just like a glow, like a haze. But when I saw laser beam, literally they look. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a Disney light show. It was fun.
Superhero charging.
Yeah, so I was just like, of course it's fascinating to see when it happens, when it's something fun like that. um
Yeah.
but
Well,
I do get
Wendy,
those experiences on and off, and I know that it's that awareness um to seeing yourself more as a multidimensional being, and being, when you're being open and as a channel, you're able to see kind of those 4D 5D things that aren't normally in the 3D side. So to recognize that you actually have this light within you, and that when you're saying I'm sending light, you're really sending light, that it's just, I think when you have those experiences, it helps you have that imagination and that belief more in your own heart of who you are and what your abilities are. And when you have more and more experiences, then it brings more and more. The more you know, the more you know.
yeah, the more that you have those experiences, the more you realize you are God having a Wendy experience. I
Yeah.
am God having a Peter experience. And God is just having experience everywhere it can and does.
Yeah. Enjoying it, having
Mm.
fun. He, she.
Yeah. Well, Wendy, we're going to have to wrap up here, but I wanted to make sure that people understand how they get in touch with you if they want to. Can you just say how you would like people best to get in touch with you?
Oh yeah. I think the best way to reach me right now is through Facebook Messenger, Wendy Napolitano. And they can, contact me through Messenger and just send a message that way. Also, I do have a website. It's wendynapolitano.com. And but it's kind of a work in progress, and it's just not really, it's not where I want it to be, and I haven't put the energy into it because I've been putting my energy into this kind of thing. But they can also send me an email at
Yes.
I'll give you my 5.mysticskulls@gmail.com. So
Okay.
it's a number 5, and then
Mm.
a period, and then mystic, MYSTIC SKULLS, and then at gmail.com. And I
Okay, I'll put that
that
at the
aligns,
end.
and that does align with my Instagram page too, the 5 mystic skulls. So
Okay, good. I'll put that on the
yeah,
slide.
yeah. It's actually 5 mystic crystal skulls. I don't know what I was thinking with a really long name like that, but that's where my healing journey and my channeling journey began, was working with the crystal skulls. And so it's elaborated into a much more expanded experience. And but they're still here and supporting and working with me. But the energies, yeah, I mean, there's so much. God wants to express himself in so many beautiful ways that it's up to us to open our eyes and to be open to the awe of everything that he can use to make you aware of who you are, who she is within you. So, yes.
Yeah, nicely said. Well, Wendy, we do have to wrap up, and thank you very much for doing this. This was
Oh,
just
yeah.
loaded with good stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and
Thank
the
you.
messages from all those were really good.
Yeah.
And
And
I think just in the course of the little discussion we had, a number of things came out that I hope the audiences
yeah.
benefit from. And I thank everybody who's watching this video for tuning in. There's lots
Yeah.
more
And then
things.
they can always reach out to or check on my channeling through Channeled Illuminations, YouTube and Facebook. And then also my YouTube, where I do my healing, if you want to see what that is about, at Wendy Napolitano, Quantum Healer. So, but I'll give you those links and you can share them.
Will do. Thanks very much. Bye for
Perfect.
now.
Bye.